Do a heavy study on tournament basketball starting tonight when the Lady Terrapins jump into the first round of the women's tournament with a game at Cole Fieldhouse against Appalachian State. Come Friday, Coppin State, for the first time ever, plays in the men's tournament against Syracuse in Richmond, and today they got a high-class send-off.
I, Kurt L. Schmoke, Mayor of the City of Baltimore, do hereby proclaim March 16, 1990 as Coppin State College Day in Baltimore and urge all citizens to support the team and the school as it pursues the championship of the NCAA tournament.
The Eagles are given a chance against the Orangemen of Syracuse. Not a great one, but a real one. The star of the Syracuse show, of course, Big Derek Coleman, and the name of the Coppin game is to find a way to stop him. The Eagles are running into this one with their heads up.
Try to kidnap him first, but if that doesn't work, then we're going to have to concentrate on him a lot, and maybe if we're playing zone, we'll sag in on him. But other than that, we have our game plan, and we better keep it to ourselves.
Called Towson State a slightly longer shot.
Here we go. On Capitol Hill today, a City of Baltimore Health Department official begs to have lead paint poisoning recognized as a true epidemic. The plea came from Jack Keck, who is the city's policy director for lead poisoning prevention.
If the Baltimore City Health Department were to suddenly announce 30,000 cases of measles in the city of Baltimore, the public outcry would be enormous. However, the Health Department has publicly announced that there are 30,000 children in our city under the age of 7 who have blood lead levels high enough to be causing permanent brain damage, and there's been hardly a whimper of interest.
Our news tonight, gunfire erupts on Druid Hill Avenue in West Baltimore. It injured 2 people, including a 7-month-old child.
Baltimore City Police are searching for 2 suspects right now. Channel 2's Brad Ganson has this live report for us. Brad?
Well, first of all, 50-year-old Mary Johnson and 7-month-old Brandon Johnson were both taken to University Hospital. I'll have a condition report in just a very few minutes. Shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon, when many people, like those behind me, were sitting out on their front steps enjoying the good weather, the sound of gunfire sent them scurrying for cover. There were 2 men involved. One was shooting to the north and one was shooting to the south. They kind of faced off here along Druid Hill Avenue, according to witnesses. And when it was all over, 50-year-old Mary Johnson was hit, and so was 7-month-old Brandon Johnson, who was reportedly in a stroller there on the front steps. It is our understanding that the 7-month-old baby was hit no less than 3 times. He is now in the operating room at University Hospital. We don't have a report on him. However, 50-year-old Mary Johnson is in stable condition at last report. The 2 men, after they did their little shootout, one fled north, one fled south here along Druid Hill Avenue, and those are the 2 men that police are looking for now. We don't have a report yet on why they were shooting at each other. Stan and Beverly.
Brad, were the witnesses able to give police or give you at this point some kind of description on these suspects? Maybe viewers watching right now could aid in that search. One
lady who lives in the block told me off the record that she did talk to police and that she did give some names, but I'd rather not talk about that right now.
Okay, we understand.
Brad, one other question I've got to ask you. You know, when you see a child, a 7-month-old child shot, those neighbors have got to be saying, hey, this is enough. It's got to stop. Are they angry right now?
Exactly, Stan. They are saying that here along Druid Hill Avenue. They're saying enough is enough. This corner just over my shoulder here is supposed to be one of those drug-free zones. As you know, the signs are no longer there. The neighbors here along the street say they've called police repeatedly about several houses in the block, and they are obviously still here.
All right, Brad, we'll have more on this later tonight on Nightside. In other news tonight,
Baltimore, a city school has been rocked by violence, this time the usually quiet Southeast Middle School off Eastern Avenue. This morning, what started as a fight between 2 teenage girls ended with one of them allegedly pulling out a paring knife. 5 people were slashed. Channel 2's Mark Vernarelli has more on the story.
She must have got the knife out her bag when she was coming to, argue with me, and she cut me in my arm, across my face, and in my neck.
13-year-old Maisha Johnson says she hardly knows her alleged attacker, but police think a neighborhood dispute over a boy is what led to a fight outside the French lab at Southeast Middle School this morning. 2 male students and 2 teachers who tried to break it up were all stabbed, but not badly hurt. Ironically, this morning's stabbings at Southeast Middle School happened less than an hour after the principal of this school and several other principals had met with Baltimore Mayor Kurt Schmoke. One of the things they discussed this morning was school security. Southeast has never had any security problems, but for years its principal has been asking for a full-time security officer anyway. His request was never fulfilled.
Having security on the premises full-time sends a clear message to your students, your staff, the community at large, that yes, this building is under surveillance, it's under protection, and watch yourselves when you come here.
Police have charged a 13-year-old student, a girl school officials say had recently been suspended from another school. Deborah Rowlett is the suspect's mother.
When I heard what had happened, I didn't think it was this bad, you know. This is pretty serious.
So serious, her daughter is now facing 6 assault-related charges. In Southeast Baltimore, Mark Vernerelli, Channel 2 News.
Tonight, the 13-year-old suspect has been released into the custody of her parents.
Meanwhile, a man who tried to rob an off-duty city policeman last night and was shot by the officer remains in serious but stable condition and shock trauma. The incident occurred just before midnight outside Mondawmin Mall. Officer Donald Haskins was using the automatic teller machine. Police say 31-year-old Leroy Butler tried to rob Officer Haskins. He forced the officer into his unmarked police car. The officer pulled his revolver. Butler fled and then was shot by Officer Haskins.
A West Baltimore baby girl shot 3 times yesterday remains in serious condition tonight. 7-month-old Brandon Johnson was shot when she got caught in the crossfire of 2 armed men yesterday in the 2100 block of Druid Hill Avenue. Brandon's grandmother was also wounded. She's in good condition. Police are still looking for 2 men, 24-year-old Michael Willis and 18-year-old Dimitri Davenport.
Seems hard to believe, but financially troubled Morgan State University has an extra $3 million either it didn't know about or someone didn't tell about. Last week, students at Morgan shut down the university, calling for better maintenance of the buildings and more teachers. As Channel 2 News has now learned, it turns out the needed money is there. The school just hasn't spent it. Students met with Governor Schaefer today to discuss their concerns, and he said there would be more money for teachers if the school didn't have so many secretaries.
Morgan than any other college in university in the chain, more. So I think there has to be a review of what happens internally, and I think the young people ought to be the ones to look at it. I think they ought to. They were the ones to initiate. I don't like to get in and manage the college. It's not my job to manage it.
The governor also says that $3 million in unused money will have to be spent by June 30th, or those funds revert back to the state of Maryland.
Speaking of money, first the power plant burned out, then the fish market drowned in deep water. Now the Brokerage, another entertainment center, has gone broke. The owners of the $40 million project filed bankruptcy today. The Brokerage includes some of Baltimore's hotspots like Fat Tuesdays, the original sports bar, and Dominique's, just to name a few. Now the tenants say that the businesses will remain open, and owners say that the bankruptcy suit should not affect them.
Everybody calls it the Kids Diner, but officially it's public school number 531. It was brought here originally from New Jersey by movie producer Barry Levinson, a set for his film Diner. When he finished filming, he gave it to the Baltimore school system.
Normally with the sausage link to go along with it.
It's now used to teach youngsters how to run a business, but not much longer. The city is looking for ways to save money and wants to hand the diner over to the State Juvenile Services Authority. Juvenile Services Director Linda Rossi says it would make a great alternative to Hickey School for first-time offenders.
You look at the various aspects of running a business, yes, it is a good trade, including the culinary arts piece of it. Our kids respond very well to some of those things, and we've had a lot of success.
Right now, the Kids Diner operates only during school hours. Under the state's plan, it would operate full-time on weekends and evenings, too. And Juvenile Services say that they could probably train about 100 troubled kids here a year, maybe even turn a profit. At the Kids Diner, Lou Davis, Channel 2 News.
Over the years, the number of Korean businesses in the Baltimore area has steadily increased, and so too has the number of Koreans who have become victims of crime. The majority of the businesses are located in the African-American communities, and that has some wondering tonight if racial tensions are brewing between African-Americans and Koreans. Channel 2's Siani Lee reports that the opinions differ as much as the two cultures do.
A shooting in West Baltimore. 2 Korean merchants are shot and luckily suffer only minor injuries.
Some say they were victims of crime because they choose to do business in a high-crime area. Others believe the problem goes much deeper. President of the Baltimore NAACP feels yesterday's shooting wasn't racially motivated, but at the same time admits that racial tensions exist.
I don't really see it as a black Korean problem. I see it as a problem that exists between low-income people generally, black and white, and Koreans generally. It's going on for a long time, and it has festered. It is still smoldering, and I believe that the fire is getting warmer. It's based on ignorance, as is usually the case with racism.
Bunton says that some blacks feel Koreans have gotten special financial treatment from the government to set up businesses, and adds that misunderstanding is confounded by language and cultural barriers.
People have to learn to come together and share with each other.
But the president of the Korean Society of Maryland doesn't believe Koreans are being targeted.
We're doing real good, making good relationship now. But I don't think any problem with the black community, with the Korean people.
But there are those within the Korean business community who feel that there is definitely a problem and that more needs to be done to improve race relations between blacks and Koreans. They declined to talk to us on camera today, fearing they would damage their business and their reputation within the Korean community. In downtown Baltimore, Siani Lee, Channel 2 News.
There's an alarming report out tonight on lead poisoning, especially for children. Baltimore, it appears, ranks 9th in the entire nation for high lead levels in preschoolers. Of 42,000 Baltimoreans with high lead levels, 25% of them are preschoolers. A man in charge of the lead clinic at the Kennedy Institute says the federal government has to play more of a role.
It really is in HUD's bailiwick. But HUD at the federal level has done everything in their power for the past 20 years to avoid facing the issue, having first determined that it was costly. But I think you can say, you know, pay me now or pay me later.
As you no doubt have heard by now, lead poisoning can cause for us.
This was not one of Bob Wade's better days. The former Dunbar High coach was cited today by the NCAA as being inexperienced, breaking numerous violations, running an out-of-control program without guidance, and then supplying false and misleading information during the NCAA investigation. A year-long investigation has rendered the team ineligible for postseason play for the next 2 years, no live TV next year, and an expected $3 million lost in revenue.
Just when the program gets going strong, they turn around and something else happens and they hurt it again. And it's just like they're slapping us.
Sitting here in cold, the memories come back of the days of Tom McMillan, Len Elmore, John Lucas, winning the NIT championship, the battles in the ACC, Lefty stopping his feet on the sidelines, and the slam dunks from Len Bias. Those were the Terp good days. The team was making strides under first-year coach Gary Williams, and the memories were back for a while, students say.
And here comes Gary Williams. He steps in, he turns the whole program around, and they're just taking everything away from us because of something that happened years ago with Bob Wade and Len Bias.
So now Gary Williams got to live with the stuff that Bob Wade, did to the program. And
now, considering we just got our program back on our feet, and we just started getting the team back together, and now it's just letdown. It's just going to put us back to square one. It's going to take us another 2, 3, 4, who knows how long years to get back on our feet again.
From College Park, Jamie Costello, Channel 2 News.
The oldest parts of the Maryland Pen were under construction when Thomas Jefferson was president. Prison officials say now the structure is unsafe and should be torn down.
It's more defined right in here. This whole wing here is shifting towards this wall here. And you can see that curvature in the steel and the support that's here.
This is the first time a television news crew has been allowed in the old South Wing in at least 2 years. The warden and assistant warden took us through today, showing us how the steel girders holding up the building are rusting away.
This is the first hit. First shell. Look at the other where it's rusted. There it is. All this is pure rust.
Prison officials say the building is unsafe, not only because of the deterioration, but also because of the narrow hallways and the 5 tiers, which make it difficult for the guards to see. There is also fear that as the building continues to shift, the cell doors won't open and prisoners will be trapped.
These cell doors ought to be able to move with 2 fingers, but they're hard to move because of the weight of the wing that's come down on it.
They're
number of cells over here, 27 on one tier, and we're also losing cells on the front of the tier due to the wing shifting. And so we can't lock up inmates who are committing infractions, rules violation inside this facility.
Secretary Robinson says he wants to try to empty this section of the prison within a month. The problem is finding space for 400 men in a system that's already overcrowded. In the South Wing of the Maryland Penn, Lou Davis, Channel 2 News.
Well, tonight it looks like protesting students at Morgan State University will occupy Truth Hall overnight. Hundreds began staging a peaceful protest at the school's Student Affairs office this morning. They met for hours with school officials over a number of issues. Among them, their concerns about tuition increases, housing, and what they say is a lack of security on campus.
Because I don't like living in fear, and that's what I live in fear. I have to wait until my friends want to go to the library, and if they don't have any studying done, then I guess I have to get my studying done the next day.
You have roaches visiting you in the shower. I mean, it's just disgusting.
We need funding, we need money, we need improvement now.
School administrators, including President Earl Richardson, have been listening to the students and responding. Officials there point out enrollment is up, SAT scores have soared, and there are more honor students at Morgan than ever before.
Opening day. We baseball fans look forward to it all winter.
It's marvelous. It's marvelous.
But April 2nd, the roar of the crowd and crack of the bat could be replaced by silence, and it means a loss of big dollars. It's estimated that the average fan spends $6 at a baseball game. If just opening day alone is canceled, it will mean a loss of $312,000. And if you consider tax money generated, wages lost by the 600 stadium workers, ticket refunds, parking, and money fans spend in hotels and restaurants, the loss totals $2.8 million. For major companies that benefit from the Orioles, a slight delay in the opening of the season won't cause any major problems. But for small businesses near the stadium, it's a different story. At the Olympic Lounge, a home Oriole game can mean as much as $1,700 additional dollars in the cash register.
It's really going to hurt business. I'd really like to see them, go in when they're supposed to. I hate to see the strike.
Businesses near the stadium say the baseball season is for them what Christmas is for retailers.
It would be a severe setback if we were to lose opening day, not only for the ball club, but for a lot of the workers and things like that. But saying right now, we're planning on still playing ball here on April 2nd, and all of our plans are going forward as if things are normal.
It was normal at the Orioles ticket office today, but if opening day is canceled, the lines will be a lot longer with people wanting refunds. At Memorial Stadium, Sam Ringgold, Channel 2 News.
And while businesses here remain hopeful, in the South, the cancellation of spring training has meant a loss of $150 million. Scott Garceau will have more on the lockout later in sports.
At the Maryland Penitentiary today in downtown Baltimore, officials have already started evacuating inmates from the south wing of that prison. Unsafe conditions resulting from bending and collapsing walls have been reported there recently. And today, corrections spokesman Greg Shipley confirmed that prisoners are being moved daily until all 169 of them are out of the south wing. Some will be transferred to other facilities. Some will be double bunked in the west wing. But Shipley says that at no point will these maximum security prisoners be moved to minimum security areas.
Baltimore City Police have an urgent warning for you tonight. They seized 24 bags of heroin during a drug raid, and routinely do test these drugs. They found out that the heroin they seized was thinned out with strychnine. It's a poison, and it could kill anyone who uses this particular batch of heroin. Now, police aren't sure how much of it made it to the streets before their raid seized the amounts they had. Anyone worried that they might be poisoned, or maybe you may spot someone who is sick, should go to the hospital, the nearest one.
Just say no. It'll avoid the problem, won't it?
That would help.
All right, coming up.